Hello everyone and welcome to Werven's World and welcome to my Let's Play of Dominions 5, Warriors of the Faith. It is finally out after Dominions 3 and 4 were very cool to play. I was very much looking forward to Dominions 5. So let's immediately get started. It's basically a 4x game without much in the sense of diplomacy at all. So let's create a world. We will make a random small map so we don't have to play for many hours. And I have deactivated east-west wraparound and north-south wraparound. Although I actually might activate east-west again because I did run into a situation where I could not get out of a little island. Basically this means that the world is wrapped around so you can go from the left to the right part of the map as well. So let's have that on. Let's call it, I don't know, map. Sure. Let's play in the early ages. So there's 3 different ages that you can play in, and all of these ages have their own races that you can play, and there's a ton of variety here. In the early ages we mostly have magic and not so much in the way of armor and weapons. So let's make this an easy AI. And I was thinking of playing Niefelheim, Sons of Winter, because they are pretty cool. So we actually have giants in our army, which is pretty cool. The Niefel giant. And basically we just, well, these are already kind of giants. They're these Jotuns that are way taller than people. We've got axemen, we've got spearmen, we've got javelinists, we've got actually people carrying boulders into battle and throwing them at people. So overall, this is not a very hard race to learn, which is good for a first game. I already played a test game so that I would not get confused with the mechanics and stuff. So let us get started. We can see here that the Niefelheim has cold resistance, but they need lots of supplies and they prefer cold scale. The supplies are basically, I don't know if you've ever played Europe Universalis or what's it called. You can only have so many people in one area because otherwise there's not enough supplies and we're gonna starve. Then we have magic, water, blood, death, nature, astral, some air. Then we have priests. They're average, they're not as amazing as other races. Our dominion actually spreads cold, and then buildings that we can make are giant forts. We also start with a site, Niefelheim, which gives us 4 water crystals and 2 death crystals per turn, which allows us to cast certain spells. So let's press OK, and now we have to choose a pretender. So in my test game I tried this one here, the Monolith, which is actually a pretender is this thing that wants to become a god because the real god went away and now everyone is fighting to become a god. And this one is just a stone and he just stands there and he cannot move at all, but he can research and then he can cast spells and things like that. I thought that was pretty cool. However, now I found out that here the son of Niefel is cheaper for us because we are playing Niefelheim. So let's play this guy who's more of a battle pretender. He's very strong in battle, he can actually move, but he might not be as good at researching and stuff like that. He's also got an 11. Like if we look at something like the Frost Father, he's probably much better. No, he's actually only got 9. I really expected him to be much better. Great Sage? Great Sage got 22, yes. But anyway, we want this guy. So, here we can choose which paths of magic our guy is good at. So I would say he's very good at water. We can still increase this later on as well. And he's okay at death, I guess. Well, let's first see what else we want. Here we have Dominion. It's basically the spread of our religion, of our pretender god to the other places. And everywhere where we spread this, we will also change the environment a little bit. So we make it cold, which is great because our units get better when they're cold, at least some of them. We can also increase the productivity. So we can, for example, increase the income by 9% and resources by 45%. However, now you can see here that I'm running out of design points. So for example, I could lower this and then I suddenly have 17 points again. Now I have 9 points. I can add a bless effect if my creatures are blessed. So the prophet and all blessed holy troops will receive this bonus. I can choose this bonus. So for example, they could have chill aura of frost weapons. However, that's only on when my god has awakened, because I could start my god as dormant, which means he's asleep, I'll get more points and he only wakes up later, so I can't immediately use him. But I want to immediately use him. So I'm not too worried about this incarnate only. Chill aura is pretty cool. I think I will go for this. But defense skill is also kind of nice. Yeah. Although this only works in a dominion with skull skill of level 1 or more. So I assume this doesn't work in areas where I don't have dominion, where I haven't spread my religion. I'll go for defense skill, I think. Alright, cool, then we have 9 points left. I guess we can't really do anything with that. Nope. So what we could maybe do... Nah, it all doesn't matter. Alright, let us do this. Perfect, we will start Awake, and he's called Yuke, our god, our pretender god. He's not a god yet. Now we can do a lot of stuff here, but we won't, because it's all fine. We do Thrones of Ascension, which basically means we need to capture 3 places in the map, and then we win. And now we need to make the map, which can take quite a while. So in this game, it's different from other 4X games. It looks very, very complicated, and I would definitely recommend reading the manual. It's quite long, I think it's like 80 pages or something, but it does do a quite good job on teaching you the mechanics. Unfortunately, this Dominions 5 does not have a tutorial, it seems. So the other Dominions, Dominions 4 and 3, they had a tutorial in the manual that said basically load up this map with this race, and then we go through a turn by turn how to do things. But it's not in this one, which is unfortunate, especially for people that are now getting into the series. They might, well, get a bit stuck. So the mechanics are actually not that complicated. This game mostly is complicated because it has so many options of things to do. So this little story here basically says that there used to be a god, and the god at some point left. So now we need another god, and people are going to fight about it, and our pretender god is one of the people that wants to fight about it. So as you can see, this is the current map here. It's now wrapping around, as you can see. So basically this is really the only part of the map that we need to worry about. However, I could, for example, if I could swim, I could go from there to there, but now we won't. Alright, so let's give a bit of an overview. This is our area, and you can see we have some dominion here, we have some influence here, but we don't have influence here yet. It hasn't spread. And we have extra production here, as well as it's cold because we have dominion here. So there's a certain amount of population here and a certain amount of supplies, and the supplies means how many people can actually be here before we have starvation. Just like in games like Europa Universalis and stuff like that, your army cannot be too big in some areas, otherwise you will run into starvation problems. And you can see that we are using 41 supply. So we don't have a very big army, but our Jotun, they take up a lot of supply because they're bigger than humans are. We also have a certain amount of income here, and as you can see, this is indeed our income minus some upkeep that we have to pay. We also get resources, which is quite interesting because you cannot save these resources. You have to use them every turn, or you don't have to use them, but if you don't, they get lost. We also have recruitment points that basically decides on how many units we can recruit within these resource limits. Then we have a defense of a castle, as well as some unrest, which is not good to have, and then corpses, which you can reanimate if you want to. Here you also see our income in crystals, so we get 4 water gems per month and 2 death gems per month as well. And these are our commanders that are here, and these are just some units. So, what do we have? We have our castle. In our castle is Niefelheim, which gives us +4 crystals and +2 crystals, and it allows us to recruit these special units. Then we also have a temple, which spreads dominion, and we have a laboratory, which allows us to research. And research is important because, as we said, we have a water mage level 5, but he doesn't really know that many spells yet, because at the moment we have only research enchantment, and enchantment allows us to cast all of these spells, but we have to have a specific level. So for example, we cannot cast healing touch because we are not a nature mage, we are a water mage, so we can cast protection from cold, right? So we can increase this, we can keep researching this, and for example, here's level 5, we could actually cast these cool things because we have enough water level for this. We can even like make a frost dome. A frost dome is created over the entire province when the spell is cast, so you can really make world-altering spells. And as you can see, there are a ton of spells, and this is only the enchantment tree, right? I mean, there's the blood magic tree, there's the conjuration tree, and so on. There's really a ton of stuff that we can do. I'm not entirely sure what we should go with. We could go with enchantment, but yeah, it doesn't sound that great. I'm thinking either we could go for this, so we can already do some damage while we are running towards them, like for example with Cold Bolt, or we could go for conjuration, and that means we can like summon things like Jedis or Yetis or Jedi Yetis, whatever they are. So that's pretty cool as well, and it has fire ants, although we can't summon them unfortunately. So they're both pretty cool, but I think I'll go for conjuration. So I will queue conjuration, and we need 50 research points for that. Now, how does research work? We have to put people that can research to research. So if I right click on this one, you can see that we have a 19 research ability. So if I click here on this defend, then I can say, no, you shouldn't defend, you should research. And there's many other things I can do. For example, I can forge magic items for my warriors. I can cast ritual spells, which at the moment we don't have except for reanimation. So I think I will just research this turn. And then basically we will add these 19 points on top of these 50 that we need. So we will basically need about 3 turns to do it. So then we have Høgne here, and Høgne is our commander. He is a Jotun Hearse, I guess. A Hearse, yes, is a local chief in Jotun. They command armies when no Jarl is present. So they're not amazing, but I mean, they're sacred, which means that they're very devoted and they can be blessed, and they can only require half the usual cost to maintain. And as we made ourselves during the setup, when we are blessed, we get extra defense. So, what is he leading? He is leading a small army here. As you can see, some people here. I can see my army setup. He is leading a couple of spearmen from Niefelheim, as well as some javelinists from Niefelheim. So the javelinists can actually throw these things, and yeah, they don't have so much stuff, unfortunately. So there's a couple of things I can do. First of all, I can set their battle orders. So for example, I can... I'm not sure which one is here. I'm not sure if I click on fire whether it would also move or not. So I think I'll just do none and let the AI decide, and just put these ones on attack, and they don't have to charge anyone. Like if I have, for example, cavalry, I could say maybe, hey, attack the enemy archers, so they will kind of round up next to the army and then go for the archers. So here I can set where they should start battles. So here we have our spearmen, and here we've got our javelinist, and then we take Høgne, and Høgne will go somewhere here. But I don't think I will really assign this army to Høgne, but he might still fight with us. So he can go here up the front a little bit, because we have our big guy here, right? He needs to lead his army. So what we will do is we will actually assign these to this guy. No, but he's researching. Let's not do that yet. Let's do it. Ooh. Let's make a second unit out of it. Let's do that not yet. So we also have Magne, and Magne is a scout. He's stealthy. So basically we can send him to find out what's going on in places around us. So if we send him here, he cannot. Why does he not want to go there? Because there's water between it, maybe? Might be water between it. I'm not entirely sure. Oh yeah, here. There's blue. There's water between it. So we will go here then. So he will go there and he will kind of spy on the enemy and see what's going on there. So we have set our research. We've done our army setup. However, we have not recruited units yet. So you can see we have 400 gold, some resources, some commander points, as well as some recruitment points. Now, this one here cost us 2 commander points, as you can see in the bottom. And this one has a research ability of 15, and it's a mage. So I'm thinking of recruiting this one in order to have more research going on. But this one here also has 15, but it costs 4 commander points. So I think I'll go for this Gugya, which is an ancient Jotun hag, which is a nature, death and blood mage. And then she gets some extra magic skills. She has a supply bonus, which means she actually produces supply. She has old age, which means her stats are terrible. And she has a death curse. Anyone killing this being will be cursed for the rest of his life. It's not possible to resist this effect. That's quite interesting. So we will recruit her. Then we still have some points left, and we can choose from all of these. So we have our standard militia, we've got our spearmen, we've got our javelinist, which are a bit more versatile. We've got these hurlers, which I kind of like. They've got an axe, and then they got boulders, which they throw in the enemy's face, which do a lot of damage, but then they're also less protected themselves. And they don't cost as many resources at all. However, our gold at the moment is the bottleneck. Like if I queue a couple of these, we still have plenty of resources left, right? So I think I might just go for javelinists, which costs more resources and the same amount of gold. But considering we have to use up our resources anyway, or we don't have to, but it's a good idea, I think this might be the most prudent way to continue. Alright, I think we are almost ready with the first turn. So as you can see, we also have a laboratory, which allows research. We've got a fortification, which makes it harder to siege us. And we've got a temple, which will allow us to spread this dominion. So as you can see here with these candles, how much dominion we have. Now, this Hugne here is not doing anything this turn. I don't want to go there yet in case there's a big army. So what we could do is, well, we can do empowerment, which means we can increase our own skill level with magic, but we need water gems for that, or other gems. But I was actually hoping he could search for magic item sites, but apparently that's not possible. So we will just keep defending, and then we will press end turn. Alright, that was the end. Now, we know now because here is now Magne. He's checking the area, and he found out there's about 30 barbarians here. So, can we take them? Who knows? So we have Hugne here, and we can take him. And we can do this. And then we have 15 units ourselves, which might not be exactly enough. As you can see also, Yuke here has made a wolf, or whatever it is. It's a winter wolf, and that's because he himself has this monster summoner. Every turn is a chance of summoning one or more monsters. Now the question is, I could bring these two and could already take over this area, or I could wait for another turn, produce some more units, and then go. And I think I want to do that because I think I want to keep this person researching here. This one here will also research a little bit. And then we will not go yet. So we need some more spearmen in order to make that unit as well useful. So we can recruit some units. There we go. You can even also click it like this, because basically it will just say, well, next turn you'll have a lot of resources again, so then we'll spend them next turn. You cannot do that with gold, because the game doesn't really know how much gold you'll have next turn. So basically you can queue them up in some way, but let's not. Alright, let's go for that, and then we can also send this one here, maybe somewhere else, like here. Although we already know that what is there. And we already have some dominion over there, and that's I guess why we see what's happening in those places. Because we have spread our religion already a little bit, just because our god is here, or our pretender. So let us send Magne this way. And now we have finished research in conjuration, which is pretty cool. So now we can actually cast these spells. Unfortunately, we can only cast Spirit Curse, because for this one we need both green and blue, and we only have death and blue. So Spirit Curse, the caster summons a malign spirit from the underworld and coerces it to curse an enemy. In return, it is set to free to wreak havoc on the living. The spirit never joins battle. So it... not sure what it does. Damage special. Yeah, it curses them, I guess. But it also costs us a gem. So we can see here, for example, if we now would cast a ritual spell, then it's not here because this is the stuff that's on the map. But I was hoping I could see it somewhere else. But it isn't. It's a spell that she can cast during battle. So now we will research level 2. And then we can summon water powers. Alright, so we will add these people to our army. And I'm thinking whether I should bring her or not. She can already animate dead, which is not that amazing. No, I don't think I'll bring her. So let us bring this unit here and let's attack with it. So let's see about the setup of it. And then something like this. And then we'll just bring that one here and we'll attack. Here's also quite some army, but luckily they can't cross here, which is good for us. So, as I said, the objective is to get to these thrones, and these are the thrones. So here we have a throne of Ascension, there we have a throne of Ascension, and... ooh, it's in the water. We'll have to see what we can do about that. So, with that, I guess we can press and turn. There was a battle in Old Gold, so we can either see how we did. We have conquered it, as you can see, but we can also view the battle, but we cannot influence it, because we already set our setup here, and you can see these are the enemies, and then we can fast forward it a little bit. As you can see, they throw their javelins already, even doing some friendly fire. And we've routed many of them already. There we go. Now we will just follow them a little bit and then the battle will end. So I will just press Q in order to quit this battle. And we will press exit. So we won. Perfect. That means that now suddenly we will get a little bit more gold. And we also have some resources in order to actually recruit units here, but it's just barbarians, so we're not going to do that. Although we could build, for example, palisades, which would allow us to kind of make this into a little city in a way, like a little village, little fortress. So, we are now producing a little bit more gold each turn. And what is now something we should do... oh, I guess we need a magic user in order to search for magic sites then. I thought everyone could do it. Maybe this one can do it? Yes, here, this one can search for magic sites. Because maybe there is a magic site here that will produce more crystals, but we just haven't found it yet. So, next turn. Well, 40 enemy units... 50, 40, this is all quite dangerous, so I don't think I want to do anything here yet. So, I think we will just, maybe we will patrol the province in order to lower the unrest a little bit. We will continue researching with this one, and we will recruit some more units. So, what do we want to recruit? I'm thinking of recruiting one of these, because then we will have 15 more research ability again. However, we will need 2 turns for that because we only have 2 commander points and this one costs 4 commander points. So unfortunately we need to wait for a bit, but then it might be good to start making some other units. And I'm thinking maybe a couple of these and a couple of these. And then we can repeat this recruitment, so every turn we will do that. Is there something that costs a lot of resources but not a lot of gold? Yes, there is. This one. Here we go. Okay, I just have to do this, I guess. Here we go. Alright, and then we press and turn. Jord has searched Niefelheim for magic sites, but none was found, unfortunately. An unexpected event has occurred in Niefelheim. Raiders from the sea are harrying coastal settlements. Unrest plus 35. That's not good. Patrolling troops in Old Gold have killed 5 filthy brigands and troublemakers. This land is now safe and orderly. Great. So now here there's no unrest anymore, which will increase our income and stuff a bit. But here now we suddenly have much more unrest, which is not great for us. So this one will go to research again. And we are still recruiting the same amount of units. So what I will do is I'll bring Högne here, and next turn he will take all those units with him, and then maybe he'll start looking for some more trouble somewhere else. So we have this one still. Let's look if we can find the main place of our enemy, which is probably somewhere here, I guess. All right, so we now have this guy here, Farbaute. And Farbaute will research as well. So now we are really making quite a lot of research points every turn, because I really want to get to this point where we can actually use the stuff we create, like here at level 3, where we can summon some Yetis, which would be quite cool. A sloth of bears. So we will need quite some turns for that, but now that we have 3 people researching, that will go quite quickly. So we can look at our army setup, and as you can see here, when I look at the leadership, it indicates the maximum number of troops that a commander can lead. So the more leadership, the more troops you can lead. And then there is also something that allows you to have multiple armies with you. And I'm not entirely sure which one that is. As you can see here, this one can only have 2 squads. So this one here, for example, can have 4 squads. But that means that we cannot make another unit. So we just have to kind of combine them. So, but let's actually just put these here. Maybe we can even put this strong one there as well. And we can put these boulder hurlers together with these guys. And I was thinking it might be good to put them a little bit further from each other, because last time they actually shot at a unit this one was engaged with, and then they hurt some of my own units, which I didn't really like. So now they will all just go there. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if there is one that basically lets them move and shoot as well, except for none. So we'll have to see about that. So this one here will attack. And these guys will attack. So let's see how that goes. We've got a fair amount of units. We got 31. So here, for example, we don't actually know the information at the moment. So let us have this one go here. And we will have this one go here. We're still recruiting units every turn. Maybe something like this. So basically, once I come back, there will be many more units here again, which will be nice. So we have finished our research, but one of my crippled units died, unfortunately. I guess they got crippled because of the battle, because you can actually get wounds in battle that are simulated as well, which is pretty fun. This one has 30 enemy units, 40. This one about 20, so let's take this one, because we can kind of defend this area. So let's see what we can cast nowadays. We can summon shades. Costs us 8 of these crystals. Black Servant. It's a creature made out of solid darkness. It is stealthy and often used to scout enemy provinces. Here, that's pretty cool. Let's summon one of those. Why not? Alright, UK has class Black Servant. A proclamation from Machaka. Pongwa, the Rhino clan commander, the world's most beloved hero, shall hereby be known as the Prophet of whatever that means. So we can actually also name prophets, but we'll get into that. So there was a battle in Oakwood, which is where I sent these people here. So we can actually look at that. View battle. Let's see how that went. That should be fine, right? So now we have this unit here. So hopefully they managed to throw some of their missiles before... Oh, they didn't throw anything. Did I put them to attack? I'm not sure. I'll have to check. This one here got entangled. So So this is their hero, I guess, the tribe priest. Yay, we killed it. Perfect. We don't kill everybody, but that's fine. A new famous hero, because he's now been in battle, our hero, he is now brave. So when we click on him, you can see here that he's got a heroic ability. He's got increased physical strength. And also, he got experience, which also will increase his skills, basically. Which is great. So now we are more experienced in battle. And we get more income here as well. So what we can do maybe is to also reduce some unrest here and increase our income like that. I'm not sure if it's completely necessary, it probably isn't. But now we actually summoned this Urathu, the Black Servant. So he's also got stealth and he's ethereal. So what we can do is also scout with him. So let us go here first. And let's have this one be here, because I want to know what's happening here. And then the shade should go here, basically. All right. So this one here at the moment is defending. Do we have any cool other things? Not really. And this one might have other spells to cast. Yeah, so this one could, for example, summon horned serpents. Or do astral projection, which... I can scry on a province. That's kind of nice. But I think research will be better, because then soon we'll be at conjuration level 3, and then I can start summoning things, which I'm looking forward to. So what I will do is I will put this one to research as well. And then I think, slowly but steadily, I will build up an army for this one and stop researching with him. Because we're still recruiting units. And I guess I don't really need any other units at the moment, or any heroes. I know with some heroes you really want to keep pumping out these researching units, and that might also be a good idea for me. I'm just not entirely sure. Maybe let's do it, why not? Might be the safest one, just to build up more and more research points. We can even... I guess we cannot really look at any good magic items yet. I don't think any of them... Ooh. This one does. Ha! We can actually make a better sword, the ice sword. And does our guy have a weapon? He does not. So we can actually craft an ice sword for ourselves. So we can forge either a ice lance, which has a charge bonus for the first strike, 1, 2, 3, or we can have a bit more defense. We can also make a ring of frost or a skull talisman. Yeah. I think I'll go for this ice weapon. So he's forging that now for himself. So then we can click on end turn. And then we have killed 15 filthy bandits. So now we actually have quite a nice income here. And as you can see, we also have a higher upkeep because, well, we're increasing our army all the time. Actually, I have to be careful with the supply usage. So let's actually stop recruiting all these units. Otherwise, people are going to starve, which would not be good. So what we can do here, this is 40 enemy units. How much do we have here? 17 and 12, but we are stronger. I'm inclined to go for that. I'm wondering why these didn't shoot. Ah, because they're spearmen, not javelinists. These are the javelin guys. Haha! Everything starts making sense. I should pay more attention. And yes, we put them to attack. Okay, so that was stupid. Last turn. Attack. So we only have a small unit of melee. Although our other guys are also not too shabby in melee. So let's actually try it, why not? And then we have magic item. Treasury. So now we have this sword, which we will give to this person here. And now, as you can see, we have a sword. Yay! Which will increase our damage. So, let us make an army setup. And this one can lead 4 units here. So these ones have combat speed of 26, so they're really fast. Combat speed is the movement that they have. Actually, before I explain that, I think I really should turn this episode off because I've been playing for 35 minutes. But next time we will continue and we will set up this army and then we will explore a bit more. So I hope you had fun and see you next time.